At your workplace, you were asked to use Excel to calculate the gross pay and the net pay of all employees. Now these are the employees, and then look at the top here. Now the maximum time that you are allowed to work for the week, okay, is weekly, is 40 hours. And then the regular rates, meaning if you work from 40 hours and below, you take 30 cedis for each hour's work, okay. And then the overtime. Overtime means that if you work more than 40 hours for the week, the extra time you've worked, okay, the excess of the 40, you get 45 cedis for each hours, okay. And then for the income tax, you pay 0.15 of your gross pay as income tax. That is 15%. You also pay 0.185 of your gross pay as SNIT. That is 18.5%, okay. Now whenever I click on a cell, look at the formula bar at the top here. You see the name of that cell there. So when I click on this employee, you can see it at the top there. Now when I click on this, that is regular hours worked, okay. You want to know the regular hours worked, and you want to know the overtime hours worked also. Before we calculate the regular pay, the overtime pay, before we know the gross pay. So to find the regular hours worked, just enter equals, then type min, M-I-N, open parentheses, then click on this, bring a comma, and then click on the maximum regular time, okay, which is 40. Now, for this, let's go to the formula bar. For the B4, which is where the 40 is, we need to make it absolute. That is by adding the dollar sign to it. So bring a dollar sign before the B, and then a dollar sign before the what? The 4 also. Now, this tells you that the 40 is constant, okay, it doesn't change, okay. So let's close parentheses and then click enter. Come back to the cell and come to the down right corner here. Then double click on it. It gives you the answers for the others, okay. So when you look at, let me say, this person, Etonam, the total hours work is 46. But because the maximum regular hours is 40, so it stops it at 40. Now let's find the overtime also. Now to get overtime, just enter equals, then enter max. Okay, then open parentheses, and then click on the total minus the maximum time. Okay, but remember to edit it and enter the dollar sign before the B. Okay, and put the dollar sign before the 4 also. Then a comma, and then enter 0 and close parentheses. What you are basically telling Excel here is that you should take the total hours worked by the person minus the maximum regular time, okay. Now, if it is a positive value, it should give you the answer for it. But if it is a negative value, you should make it a 0. So click enter, then you get a 0. You see that. Then come to the down right corner, then you double click to get the rest. Now, when you look at this, you realize that the person wasn't able to even meet the maximum regular time. Therefore, the person has no overtime also. Okay, so let's see how to calculate the regular pay. Now, to find the regular pay, you enter equals. Here, you can use the product function, okay. You can also use other methods. So this is what I want to use. Now, the regular pay should be the regular hours worked times the regular rates, okay. So the regular hours worked by Elinam is 27, okay. Then you click on Shift and 8 to get a multiplication. Then you click on what? The regular rates. That is the regular hours worked times regular rate to give you the regular pay. For the B5, because these ones are constant, okay, they do not change, you need to always introduce the dollar sign for them. So let me edit and introduce the dollar sign, okay, before the B and before the 5. If you fail to do that, only the first one will be correct, but the other ones will be wrong. So let's click enter and see the answer. So the answer is 810. Then come to the down right corner here, then you double click to get the others. So these are their regular pay. Then let's find the overtime pay also. To get the overtime pay, enter equals, then you click on the overtime work, okay, then multiplication. To get a multiplication, it should be shift plus where 8 is. You get the multiplication. Then you click on the overtime rates, okay. Now, remember, we need to edit this and introduce the dollar sign because it's a constant rate, okay. So, to make it absolute, then you click enter. It gives us 0. Elinam's overtime hours work is 0. Definitely she will earn nothing for overtime. So click on it back and then come to the down right corner, then you double click on it to get for the others. Okay, so to get a gross pay, enter equals. Now gross pay should be equal to the regular pay plus the overtime pay, okay, or regular earning plus overtime earning. So Elinam's regular earning is 810, so you click on it, then plus the overtime earning, then you click enter, you get the total. Then you come to the down right corner here, then you double click on it to get the gross for everyone. So now we know the gross pay of all the employees. Now we want to find the net pay. To get the net pay, we need to find the income tax and the SNIT and then deduct them from the gross pay to get the net pay. So how do we find the income tax? Enter equals. Now the income tax should be the income tax rate times the gross pay. Okay, so let's click on the income tax rate, which is D5. Then multiplication, shift and 8 times the gross pay. But please, we need to edit the income tax rate and introduce the dollar sign to it because the same rate will be applied for all employees. So let's introduce the dollar sign. If you fail to do that, the first one will be correct, but the others will be wrong. So let's click enter. Then you come back to this cell, come to the down right corner, then you double click to get the rest. Then let's find the SNIT also. Enter equal to, and then click on the SNIT rate, the rate, okay, then times, then you click on the gross pay. Because the SNIT rate applies to everyone, let's introduce the dollar sign to the SNIT rate. So dollar, then dollar. If you fail to do that, the first one will be correct and the others will be wrong. So click enter, you get the answer, then come to the down right corner, then you double click to get the rest. Now to know the net pay, remember the net pay should be the gross pay minus your income tax minus what you are paying for SNIT. Okay, so we enter equals, then you click on the gross pay minus, then you can open parentheses and then click on income tax plus the SNIT. Okay, then you close parentheses. You are basically saying that you should add the income tax and the SNIT together because they are deductions. You should add them together separately and deduct their total from the gross pay. Then you click enter. Okay, when you click enter, you get the net pay for Elinam. Then you come to the down right corner, then you double click to get for the others. So the net pay is what will be given to the employees and that's what they will take home. So follow Philos Masterclass to learn more. Thank you.